welcome to Coffee with Cassie. Today we have with us Alicia Brady-Hoff, who's a counselor at JCCC. Hey, how are you doing today?
Doing great, Cassie. Thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah, of course. All right, so I know when I was a student here, I spent a lot of time with my counselor, and whether that was to get my classes planned or just to help with my educational goals, I know that was really helpful. Can you share with us the importance of a counselor in a student's track here?
Absolutely. You know, we're here to help students figure out their educational plan, talk about their professional goals, and we can help them. We're a holistic center, a developmental model, so we meet students where they're at. I mean, our average age here is 27.5, and we also, which is, you know, not your traditional age student that people think of. But we also get 1 out of every 5 Johnson County high school seniors. So a lot of traditional age, right out of high school students. So, and then we get those folks that just got laid off from a job and they may be 58 years old. So being a community college, our goal is to meet the student where they're at in the counseling center and help them figure out what their next steps are.
Right. Now, can they just get connected with a counselor just by coming into the Student Success Center, or how does that work necessarily?
That's great. At this time, counseling and advising is not mandatory. We're there to support students, and so, yes, students can come in. The gift of it is that you're not assigned somebody, you know, maybe by your last name, and you end up thinking that person is not for me, it's not a good fit. So the gift of it is that people can select the counselor they want to work with as they, you know, develop their plan here at the college. And that's important in a counseling relationship, that you have that connection with that person, that, you know, that you're on the same wavelength, and that you can really feel that you can communicate with them and trust them and have them help you move you through the process.
Right, 'cause sometimes you spend a lot of time with them.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
You certainly can. Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, in the counseling center, we help students on a walk-in basis. We have appointments, we have instant messaging, we have email advising, we have a quick question counselor. Sometimes during the year, we have a remote quick question counselor out on campus to work with students. So there's lots of different ways to get connected.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I know when I was a student here, I had no idea what I wanted to do, whether it was major or just my career goals. How does a counselor play into that? How can they help a student find that out?
Well, Cassie, what we do is we certainly visit with the student. We help them identify what some of their strengths are, what some of their interests. We do work with the Career Development Center and have students look at the Strong Interest Inventory, the Myers-Briggs, the Strengths Quest, and we take all that information and help the student kind of process that and work with things. Another test we use is the Holland Code, and help them identify how those fall into different educational areas and different goals that they might have.
So tell me, how does a counselor really play into on a personal level? Or I know I came in and I felt like everyone else knew what they wanted to do and where they wanted to go and what they wanted to do with their life, but it was a little overwhelming for me. How does a counselor help out with that anxiety? And
Absolutely. You know, Cassie, I'd say probably 70 to 80% of our students are deciding students. They're coming in trying to figure out what they want to do and where they're headed, and that's the gift of a community college. There's a lot of exploration opportunities there. We can refer students to classroom experiences in career life planning. But as far as that anxiety and that anxiousness, you know, as a counselor, we're here to help you at that personal level, talk through some things, you know, work through some of your concerns. So we, you know, again, that quality time that we spend, we're not there to rush students out the door. We're there to make a difference and help you get where you need to go.
so I'm a transfer student, and I know that I spent a lot of time with my counselor talking about that transition. How can a counselor impact that transition, and how can they help with that?
Absolutely. You know, Cassie, we're here to help students look at their different options. So let's say you were interested in business. We're not going to just look at one four-year school. We're going to help you look at a variety of four-year schools so you can find the best fit for yourself. So we have lots of relationships. We have over 223 different transfer articulations with different college and universities. So we want to give you the breadth of information that you need so you can make the best decision for yourself. And then, like you said, it's that quality time that we spend because we do care about where you're headed next.
So I know students have very busy schedules, whether it's classes or they're working. Is the only way to come in and talk to you guys by coming on campus, or is there other ways where they can
connect with a counselor?
Mm-hmm.
You know, a couple things. You know, students in general, it's really interesting to see how they're going to school these days.
Right.
We certainly have a lot of traditional students that are taking that 12 to 15 hours, coming to campus, getting very involved in clubs and organizations. We also have a large student population of students taking classes online. Mm-hmm. And so I think that can be a challenge sometimes as far as understanding what you need to do to be a successful online student.
Yeah.
And so that involves a lot of time management. We talk to people about how they spend their time, how their day looks. Being an online student takes a lot of discipline and a lot of motivation because you have to be a self-starter to be successful in those. So we, again, kind of look with the student what their strengths and weaknesses are and what they're trying to accomplish. We have a lot of students that completely take all their classes online now. So for them to be able to get connected with the counselor, we definitely do email advising, which has we've probably increased that by 60 to 70% in the last year. We do instant messaging as well. So we do, and then we're in the process of getting a D2L widget put into the learning management system. So to get that into D2L so that you can access everything about counseling within the online environment. So again, it's a very wide and diverse opportunity for students to succeed here at Johnson County Community College. There's a lot of resources for students that are managing so very much: family responsibilities, work responsibilities, financial responsibilities, and just learning how to be a good student. So we're here to help them, both academically, emotionally, and with their mental health as well.
All right, well, thank you so much for being with us today, Alicia.
Thanks for having me, Cassie.
All right, that's all for today, but you can see more videos on my Coffee with Cassie menu. See you next time, and remember, Mae West once said, "You only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough."